Breaker Crunchers, welcome to issue 80 of Couch Crunchers, where Lance and I saw the same movie this week and have vastly different opinions. You will get to hear about that later on. That said, with me is Lance. It's Lance Twitter at LanceEOP. Oh, nice. You went fancy on your handle there today. Anyway, we're excited to get going today. Absolute Geek, you came in nice and early to the chat. Appreciate your support. I mean, they're starting for us saying breaker crunchers. So
I know, man.
They know what's up.
We're dropping the ball.
Yeah, well, hopefully we don't disappoint you guys too much this week. There's not a lot of movies out, so not a lot to talk about. But hopefully Lance and I will have a spirited discussion later today. All right, so I just noticed something that's going to drive me crazy, so I'm changing it. The show notes I sent out said the wrong episode number on them. All right, well,
issue 80.
It said 79.
You're not looking at it then because it's...
No. It was like underneath the couch, the picture there. Underneath it, it's a couch issue number 79. The name of the actual thing was fine.
Guys, anyway. I swear we've podcasted before. I swear it.
Absolute Geek. Oh goodness, it's Lance.
Well, if Matt is in the chat, he should just come on the show since he saw the movie too.
That's true. All right. Well, we're gonna get started with Faberflub. If you haven't listened to the show before, Faberflub is a segment where we talk about some headlines and we discuss whether or not we think they are fabulous or flubulous. First on the list is some Disney Plus news. So we're going to start off with some Disney Plus stuff and just Disney in general. And then I've got a couple of video game things I wanted to touch on. First of all, WandaVision is moving to a 2020 release. So it's coming out this year instead of 2021. What do you think about that, Lance?
I think that's awesome. I think it's in response to The Mandalorian ending and them not having any more material to kind of keep people on. So now I think they're going to like speed up their release cycle a little bit.
That's what I'm thinking. And I was going to talk about this later, but it makes more sense to just talk about it now. So I wanted to just talk about their release schedule as far as like nerds are concerned. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm not like paying attention to, if there's another Jeff Goldblum type show coming out. Like I like the Jeff Goldblum show, but that's not really like, you know what I mean? It's not the target audience isn't comic book and sci-fi nerds. It's just
right.
It's an enjoyable show. Same with Encore. It's not the same audience necessarily.
Which one's Encore?
Encore is that Kristen Bell one where they
yeah. I tried to watch 5 minutes of that and I was like, no, I'm good.
I love it, but that's because I did theater in high school, so it's fun for me. And I keep like fantasizing about doing it myself. I'm like, that would be so much fun. But what I wanted to touch on is this. So a lot of people say there's not much coming out for nerds on Disney Plus this year. My question is, or is there?
Well, we know for sure 2 shows.
3 shows. And that's what I wanted to touch on. So don't get me wrong. I'm going to preface this by saying it's not the strongest year for Disney Plus. Like for a brand new service like this, they don't have a lot of content. To be fair, they have about as much as DC Universe does, though, if not more. Actually, they have a lot more originals than DC Universe does. But DC Universe has the benefit of all the comics and some other stuff too. So there's benefits. But here's what 2020 looks like. So we just ended Mandalorian, late last year. Now we're going to go all January without anything. But next month, we're going to get season 7 of Clone Wars, which is going to be a 12-episode season. Now, we don't know exactly when that's coming out. And yes, to be fair, a cartoon show isn't necessarily as appealing as a live-action show. I mean, I admit that. DC Universe has the Harley Quinn show out right now. I'm interested in it, but it's not something that I'm coming back for week after week like I was Titans or Swamp Thing, or you know what I mean? Right. So I get it. But there is content. So for the next 12 weeks, I'm just going to say, because I haven't seen an official release date on this, let's say it comes out February 21st. So that would be just under 2 months after The Mandalorian. That would take us, after 12 weeks, up until May 8th for the finale of Season 7 of Clone Wars. Then, if the rumors are true, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is supposedly going to be released in August. So we'd really only have another couple months break before we get something new. Then that show is going to last about 6 weeks. So that's going to get you into like September or October, depending when in August it starts. And then another month and a half, and you're going to have WandaVision. So really in 2020, as far as the nerds are concerned, there shouldn't be more than like a 2-month period where there isn't something for a nerd to watch on Disney Plus.
Well,
again,
the fans are finicky, and they get restless really quickly, right? Because we can go from November with Marvel releasing a movie to March or April, and it feels like an eternity, right? Because I think Thor Ragnarok and then Captain Marvel came out, right? Is that right?
Thor Ragnarok, no, that was 2017.
Or Thor Ragnarok and then Black Panther. Also,
Matt's calling me out on saying "to be fair" a lot. That is fair. To be fair, though.
To be fair.
I'm just kidding. So Black Panther was 2018, and then you had Infinity War in 2018, and I think there was one more. Ant-Man. Ant-Man was right after Infinity War.
But it feels like an eternity, doesn't it?
Sometimes. I don't know.
5 months go by, and it feels like it takes forever. Like Endgame to SpiderMan felt like the longest period ever.
Sorry, dude. You're in the chat. You said Apple has nothing. They really need to buy Apple. And Absolute Geek says Apple needs to buy Apple.
I meant Sony.
Dude, I get what you mean though, because Spider-Man Far From Home was the last thing that came out in the MCU. And that was what, July? Yeah, that was July. We're not getting anything else until May. So I get what you mean. Like, as far as the MCU movies are concerned, it does feel like it's been a very long time, and it will feel even longer by the time we get one. So I get it. Nerds are finicky. But the reality is there's not going to be more than 2 months between releases. So it's not the greatest content ever. I mean, I'm super excited for Clone Wars. That's great content to me. You're probably not going to watch it. Exactly. You don't care. And a lot of people aren't going to care. But for me, Disney Plus is going to be a great service. For 12 weeks, I'm going to get to watch a Star Wars show that I want to watch. 2 months later, I'll probably get to watch an MCU show, and then another MCU show another month or two after that. So I don't know. It's not the best year. It's going to be better in 2021, but I'm excited.
See, I think they could really, go into maybe doing some like Pixar shows and like try to like pad the amount of shows they're coming out with Pixar. Maybe do something cool with National Geo, or some of all these properties that they have. It seems like the service is being mainly focused on Star Wars and Marvel for the most part.
They just came out with another movie for Nat Geo. I mean, I don't know. I think there's a balanced amount of content. I'm mostly just talking about for nerds. There's only 3 things this year.
Yeah, but they could do like a Pixar Big Hero 6 movie or show or something like that. I know they do something on Disney Channel, but it's all animated. It's not computer. Computer, but I don't know. Right now, and even through The Mandalorian, Disney Plus only came on in my house on Fridays, really.
Yeah.
There was a short while where the kids were watching this musical called Zombies or something like that, and I was playing like every day, but they've lost interest in it. There's really nothing like anchoring them to continually come back every day. When my wife and I are sitting at home ready to watch something, it goes Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, and Disney doesn't even make the list because we know nothing's there. It has been nice watching some of this back catalog and I've been watching like Even Stevens and things like that. Kind of like laid back shows and things, but there's nothing drawing me every day to even open the app.
Yeah. I mean, I see where you're coming from to a degree, but at the same time, there is a lot of content on Disney Plus. Maybe it's not what you want to watch right now, but
I want to see new stuff. I know there's a lot of stuff there, and Netflix is the same way, but I'm not watching old stuff on Netflix. I'm watching their new stuff.
I watch new stuff. I mean, right now I haven't been watching a ton of shows. We'll get in. Well, I'll just say it now. Somehow HBO was purchased for a month on my Hulu account. Don't know how it happened, but it was. So I'm taking advantage of this month of HBO, and I'm going to watch His Dark Materials, and I'm going to try to get Watchmen in. So I'm watching that, but yeah, that's new content, like at least new to me, and it's still pretty new. I mean, it's just from last year that His Dark Materials and Watchmen came out, but I'm with you. I don't really go and watch old content that much. It's not my thing. I was thinking I might want to rewatch the Clone Wars before season 7 comes out, but that's a lot of content to watch in a month and a half. And I decided I'm just going right into what I've been watching and playing lately, because I just decided to go in and go ahead and buy Death Stranding. It's been something I've been like thinking about buying for a while, and I went ahead and bought it, started it last night, and that's going to keep me occupied. Probably, yeah. It's probably going to keep me occupied until Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out in March, because it's like a 50-hour game, and I'm probably only going to get to play it a few hours, well, maybe 6 hours a week or something like that.
When you go on vacation, I'm hopping in there.
It's a weird game.
It's like Metal Gear, right? Kinda?
No, not at all.
Isn't it done by the guy that did Metal Gear?
Yeah, it is. It's the same creator. And when I say, okay, I can't totally say if it's like Metal Gear because I haven't played the Metal Gear games, but I am familiar with the fact that they're like stealth action games. They have stealth combat. What's up, Matt? You got my link.
Hey, buddy.
But Death Stranding is like it's kind of funny. It's like
he was there and now he's not.
He'll be back. It's like a walking simulator. It's weird. The story is fascinating. The world is beautiful. But it's not like the most fun to play for most people. I'm enjoying playing it. It's kind of a breath of fresh air. It's refreshing, really, to just walk into a game and there's not a ton of combat. There's not like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just I'm walking around delivering packages, but for some reason I'm enjoying it. It's like relaxing. And then when it gets to cutscenes, which is often, they're very entertaining.
Really?
Yeah, and that's a Kojima
so
thing.
It's not like a horror. It's not like a horror.
I'm not that far in. I started last night. I'm maybe 2 hours in. There are horror elements for sure.
Yeah.
And those moments,
because the name makes it sound like a horror thing.
I mean, there's horror elements to it. The premise of the game is it's like set in the future. I'm not sure if it's the future or not, but the premise is that like these things took over the world and the Death Stranding happened. I'm still not sure everything that's going on, but the Death Stranding occurred. There's now these BTs, which I don't know what that stands for, but they're like these invisible monsters that only certain people can see, that seem to track you by sound, similar to the monsters in A Quiet Place, actually. It's kind of funny. I don't know if he used that for inspiration or not, but anyway, that's kind of the premise of it. There are these monsters. The world's just kind of been changed a lot. Like when the rain falls, if you're not covered up, it'll age you. It's called Timefall. So rain is now like acidic and it ages you. It's a fascinating world. I don't know how to explain it other than just to say that it's fascinating and I'm really enjoying it.
That sounds great. That sounds like my kind of game.
It's very much my kind of game. I'm freaking loving it. I'm loving it. Oh, nice. I noticed you put something in the.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be adding a few headlines here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the next thing I wanted to talk about is the Cassian Andor. So Cassian Andor is Diego Luna's character from Rogue One. His series that's coming out is likely going to be an origin story based on some casting calls. So there are some casting calls for the show that are basically asking for young Hispanic characters, one male, one female. And so what it seems like, because Diego Luna is Hispanic and so is Cassian, it seems like what they're trying to do is kind of give some backstory on Cassian and really get the origin of why he decided to join the rebellion, what kind of makes him tick from his youth. And who knows, maybe it'll only be like small snippets similar to The Mandalorian. We really didn't get a ton, but we got, some. But still, I think this is a cool idea. It's a fab for me.
Yeah, well, I really liked his character in Rogue One.
Me too.
He's one of him and what's the main girl's name?
Felicity Jones.
Yes, thank
Jyn
you.
Erso is the character.
Jyn Erso, yes. Her and Cassian were the two most interesting characters of the movie, and just their dynamic and everything like that. So to see more of him sounds like a great idea. I mean, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, so I can't speak on it too much because I'll just come off as really ignorant and uneducated. But you know, I think if it's anything like Mandalorian, they need to keep riding that success.
Yeah, and I'm super excited about this show. I'm very excited for a Cassian Andor show. I think it's funny. I'm just going to disagree with you on one thing, though. You said that Jyn Erso and Cassian are the most interesting characters in the show, in the movie, and they are very interesting. I love them. But I still think Chirrut, Donnie Yen's character, the blind man who isn't a Jedi but uses the Force, I think he's the most interesting character. Him and Baze, the two.
Yeah,
there.
he was a good character, but at a lot of time it seemed like he was kind of a bit character. They kind of at moments it seemed like he was there for comedic relief, whereas Jyn Erso and Cassian had the most like developed backstory. So you were able to invest yourself a little bit more into them. Yeah,
I'm with you. All in all, though, I'm excited about the show. I'm really hoping it's going to be good. I mean, if The Mandalorian's any indicator, Star Wars TV seems like it's going to be good. So I've got high expectations for Cassian Andor. Not unrealistic expectations, but I feel like it's going to be good, just based on The Mandalorian being good.
I hope so. Is Jon Favreau involved?
I don't believe so.
No,
I don't think so. I mean, we could Google that, but I don't believe he is. One more thing for Star Wars that I wanted to touch on is this is a rumor, but Star Wars Rebels, which ended a couple years ago, supposedly there's going to be an animated sequel series coming out this year. And now I know you haven't really watched the show, but what do you think about this?
I think they're desperately trying to get more material out. And this is something that fans have been clamoring towards or for. So they're going to do whatever they can if they have a good idea. I mean, we also know that we're getting a Knights of Old Republic movie, you know, and that's something fans have been asking for some time.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting if this rumor is true that the show's coming out this year. That surprises me that if it's coming out this year, they haven't announced anything about it, haven't said anything. If it is coming out, is it going to be a Disney Plus show? Is that going to help to kind of add some more content to that service, or is it going to be on the Disney Channel again? I would hope it's on Disney Plus, but who knows? You know, that's what I'm curious about. Like, is this coming this year? If so, where's it going to go, and when will it be released? And if it is coming this year, why hasn't it been announced? So I'm a little skeptical. I could see a sequel series to Rebels coming out. I would honestly love to, because then that would follow Sabine Wren and Ahsoka, two of my favorite Star Wars characters. But I could see it coming next year, not this year.
Yeah, I don't think that they would have not announced it, especially when they did that little trailer video a little bit ago. Yeah, I don't think that it would be released this year without any sort of announcement. I mean, even if it was just an image, because we saw in the trailer they announced WandaVision coming out for 2020, and it was just the picture that we've already seen. There was no clips, there was no nothing. They could have at least done that, and they didn't. So, I mean, I think this year is going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, I do too. I have a feeling that with WandaVision, maybe I'm totally wrong here, but I have a feeling that originally the plan was to have everything filmed and pretty much ready, and then to just release it on a weekly cadence. And now I'm thinking that they're probably of this mindset of, you know what, maybe not everything's going to be done, but the first episode's going to be done, and we're going to keep working on everything as each episode comes out. And that's why they were moving up the release date. I just
hope they don't rush it.
Me too. I hope they don't. I hope it's still good. But hey, you know what? In the past, Disney usually doesn't fail us. They usually do some good stuff. I don't know where Matt is, Kyle. He asks where the other Couch Country Matt is. He was invited, came in, and then he left.
He didn't even say anything. He like flashed for like 20 seconds and then was gone. It was like one of those flashers, like you open the trench coat and then they run away.
Dude, Sam, you're in the chat. You are a legitimate couch cruncher. Why aren't you on here? I'm gonna send you the link. I'm sending you the link now. If you can't come on, that's fine. But I'm sending it to you. Anyway.
Well, we're talking Uncut Gems, so I hope he's seen it.
Well, if he needs to leave early, he can leave early.
No. What were we talking about?
Let's move on to the next thing. I was waiting to see if Matt was gonna join us to talk about the video game stuff, because I know he's more of a gamer than you. So I'm gonna wait on that. So we'll move on to a couple other things first. Director James Gunn passed on the chance to helm some sort of Superman movie. Now you added this. Is this just a rumor, or is this
no? There's a direct quote. So his quote was, as has been reported many times, DC offered me whatever film I wanted to do, including some sort of Superman movie, not specifically Man of Steel, as I've seen reported. I chose the Suicide Squad because it was one of my favorite properties in the world. It's a story I wanted to tell more than any other, which I'm kind of glad James Gunn isn't doing a Superman movie, because I think his strength is ensemble movies. I'm good with this too. He's awesome, but he's funny. And we kind of got to see his idea of what a Superman movie would look like with Brightburn.
That's true, huh? I mean, I don't think he didn't direct that, but he was involved, so that's true.
Well, he wrote it, right? Didn't he write it?
I think he wrote it, yeah. And I guess that movie wasn't funny. I don't know. I like what Zack Snyder brought us with Superman, so I'm kind of glad that James Gunn didn't do it. But
I liked Man of Steel. It's just not my favorite Superman iteration. It was a little too dark for me, and I understand why it was dark after seeing Batman versus Superman and everything like that. But Man of Steel, as far as anything from the DCEU era, like in that little with Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill, Man of Steel is my favorite.
Yeah.
Justice League and Batman versus Superman were just dog shit, but
oh, Lance. All right. Well, let's talk about something that's never going to happen. The Uncharted movie that, from what I've been seeing, is supposed to come out this year, has lost
not
another
anymore.
director. Yeah, no way. This movie's not coming out. This is like the freaking Flash. Like,
okay, so what had happened?
Writers, like, this movie. What the heck is going on with this?
So what had happened is, so we found out that we're getting a SpiderMan movie. When was the date that was announced for SpiderMan?
It was 2021 is what we were talking about last week. It was like July or something like that.
So because that movie's coming out sooner than expected, Tom Holland's contract makes it to where he has to do the Spider-Man movie whenever they want him to.
Okay.
So now that Uncharted is being pushed so that Tom Holland can do this other Spider-Man movie, the director dropped out.
That's why.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily the studio's problem. It's Disney. And that's more what I wanted to get into is Disney, their contracts just a little bit like you're restricting these actors to where they can't really do anything else.
I'm not sure if I like that. It's tough because like if I had to pick between seeing this third Spider-Man movie in this trilogy or Uncharted, I'd rather see Spider-Man 3. But at the same time, I don't want actors to be I don't know. That kind of sucks.
Yeah. See, I hope, and I don't really care about the director, I hope Uncharted gets pushed so far forward that Mark Wahlberg ages 20 years. And Tom Holland, for that matter. Because I don't like any of the direction they're choosing for this movie to begin with. I love Tom Holland. Do I think he's Nathan Drake? No.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on that.
I'm not sold on it at all. I agree. I love Tom Holland, but he's like, and in pretty much every role he's played a little boy. That's what he's done. And he's great at it. And I know he can do more than that, but can he really give us the suave, basically Indiana Jones, like a modern Indiana Jones in a lot of ways. That's what Nathan Drake is. Like a suave Indiana Jones-like character. And
so I just looked up real quick, and we'll do this really off the cuff, but Screen Rant has an article, and we can agree or disagree with whatever they are saying here, but 12 actors that could play Nathan Drake in Uncharted. Okay. Number 12, Chris Pratt.
No. Maybe.
He's better than Tom Holland.
Yeah.
But might be a little bit too old. Number 11, Zachary Levi. Number 10, Charlie Cox. Number 9, Scott Eastwood. Why does this guy keep ending up on lists? He's not a good actor. He should stick to underwear ads. Quit putting him on lists. He will never be Wolverine. He shouldn't be Nathan Drake. He's a horrible, shitty actor. We saw that in Fast and the Furious. Stop putting him on lists.
Sam says he looks like there's a frog in his mouth trying to escape.
It's annoying, dude. Like, every time somebody tells me Scott Eastwood should be Wolverine, I want to slap the teeth out of their mouth. Like, it drives me absolutely insane. Bradley Cooper, too old. Oscar Isaac,
That's a maybe. Oscar Isaacs is a maybe.
But I just think they're too old. They need to have somebody in between the age of Oscar Isaac and Tom Holland. I think would be perfect. Chris Pine.
Of this list so far, Chris Pratt's my favorite pick of like this list so far. And
I love
Isaac.
Zachary Levi in anything, but I just don't know if Zachary Levi has the ruggedness that Nathan Drake should possess. So Tony Kebbell, he's from Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Warcraft. He does a lot of the motion capture work, like Andrew Serkis does.
Okay.
Now here's where I can get behind, and Kyle will back me up. Jensen Ackles.
No, I could get behind that too.
Dan Stevens from Legion.
Toby Kebbell is a maybe too.
Brett Dalton from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. played the Hive. And Agent,
yes, he would be great. That's my favorite pick so far of this list.
And then the other one, so let me preface this by I just watched Code 8 last week, and I loved it. I don't know if you've seen it, Max.
No, I want to. I saw it on sale on Vudu, and it's half tempted to just buy it, but I didn't.
So number 1 pick is Robbie Amell. And I actually like that. Now, he has a bit of a pretty boy face, which I think Nathan Drake has to have like that 5 o'clock thing going on, where I like Jensen Ackles more for that. But Robbie Amell, I wouldn't. And Robbie Amell fits in that criteria that I was saying, in between Tom Holland and Oscar Isaac. Don't you think? He looks older. He has that square jaw that, he could be. Robbie Amell hasn't had many opportunities to be the leading man.
I mean, no, I don't. He looks the part, kind of, but I don't think I would want him as Nathan Drake.
He's a far better actor than his cousin.
Well, I know he is. It's not that he's a bad actor. It's that you said Brett Dalton, and I freaking love him, and now I want him to play Nathan Drake.
I like Brett Dalton. But I don't know. I have a hard time thinking of somebody to pair up with him as Sully.
I don't know. It's a moot point because Tom Holland is Nathan Drake. Don't know why, but he is.
Well, what I'm saying is that hopefully it gets so pushed down the road that he and Mark Wahlberg have to drop out. And if that's the case, I would like them to do like a Robbie Amell and Bryan Cranston, or Brett Dalton and Bryan Cranston, or Jensen Ackles and Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston would be awesome. It's really interesting.
He should be Sully. The fact that they didn't cast him as Sully, everybody at that studio should be fired and strung up and lit on fire.
I don't know about that. But I don't love it. I wonder though.
Robbie Amell did not come from the CW, Sam.
Well, he did though. He was on Flash.
No, he was on stuff before that.
Well, sure, but what was I? Who was the one you were talking about? Why am I blanking on his name?
Jensen Ackles?
No, Breaking Bad actor. Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston. I feel like he just doesn't want to do those kinds of roles because people have been clamoring for him.
He did Power Rangers.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. Because, like, why isn't he Lex Luthor? He would be an amazing Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. It looks like Matt's not coming on, so we'll move into the two Xbox things I had. So Vince Zampella, who is currently like the head of Respawn that released Titanfall, Titanfall 2, Apex Legends, and just recently released Jedi Fallen Order. So Vince Zampella is going to be taking over DICE, which is another EA-owned studio that gave us the Star Wars Battlefront games, as well as some of the I think they gave us the last Battlefield game, Battlefield 1. Battlefield 5 was the last one. But anyways, DICE is involved in those as well. But he's taking over that studio, and he has plans for an unannounced game. Is this a good thing in your mind or a bad thing?
Well, I didn't like Titanfall. Either of them.
You didn't play them. Fan.
I played the first Titanfall. I had no interest in playing the second one.
Oh man, the second one's so much better than the first one. The second one actually has a story.
Yeah, I played the first one because it came with my Xbox when I bought it. And
you're not an online shooter guy though. Like that's not your genre.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, but I really liked Battlefront, both of them.
Yeah.
And if they're not going to be coming out with games like Battlefront anymore, that's kind of a bummer.
They still might. We don't know. I don't know. I am super excited about this because Fallen Order was incredible. I'm not into Battle Royale, but Apex Legends I have played, and it's a really good Battle Royale game. And then the two Titanfall games. Titanfall 2 has one of the best shooter campaigns I've ever played in my entire life. It is absolutely fantastic. And you should give it a chance because it's really good.
Well, I would if you bought physical discs. You keep buying digital crap, and I can't play them.
Well, if you just kept a subscription to PlayStation Plus or something, it was free last month.
Yeah,
on PlayStation.
Right now, the only live game that the live service that I pay for is Nintendo.
Why? They don't even offer anything, do they?
Because I pay $60 a year for Xbox, and I was never using it. I download all these games, and I think I've played 2 of them.
No, that's fair.
You know, like I'm not a huge online gamer. The only reason I pay for Nintendo is because it's like $25 a year, and I get free like original Nintendo and original Super Nintendo, Tetris, like all these old like casual games. Mm-hmm. All that's free, you know, and I gain points that I can use towards stuff as well. Like I just got Batman the Telltale series for $3.
Where'd you get that at?
On Nintendo.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Yeah, like it's awesome. $3, dude. So yeah, I don't know, man. The older I get, the less and less into games I'm getting. I've noticed.
The older I get,
toys I buy.
The older I get, the more I want to play video games, and the more I'm excited that I'm going. My wife is growing player number 2 for me, so that's exciting.
She's growing player number. Oh, you're a child.
Yes,
I had no idea what you were talking about, dude.
Yes, my child is what I'm talking about.
It totally makes sense now. I understand what you were saying.
Yes. All right. The last thing I had was another video game related news, and this is more for tech nerds than anything, if I'm being honest here. The Xbox Series X is going to have an SSD, and Phil Spencer has been saying, that by itself is great, which if it didn't, that would have been pretty disappointing because SSDs are old now.
The Xbox One X should have had a solid state drive.
I agree.
The technology was there. They could have charged people $50 more to put a solid state drive in there. It takes way too long to load something.
Yeah, the X is definitely faster than the original Xbox, but I'm with you. I'm very excited about this news because, I mean, I have a PC that I bought 2-3 years ago, and it has SSDs, and it loads things way faster than my Xbox One or PS4 ever have. So the Series X is going to have an SSD, but here's what's exciting about it. Supposedly, this SSD is going to be so fast that it can be used as virtual RAM.
Okay, explain that a little bit because I'm having trouble figuring out what that means.
That's fair. So it's essentially what it means is that RAM is the fastest form of memory in a computer, right? You know
it's
that,
recent access memory.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure if that's right. I just know, but RAM is the fastest memory, and that's why there's usually less of it. It's why when you're multitasking, it uses RAM. Like RAM is the priority for multitasking, and that's generally what it's used for.
Random access memory.
Random access memory.
Sorry.
No, you're good. But what's cool is that there's already going to be a fair amount of RAM in these new Xboxes and the new PlayStation, to where you're gonna, for the new Xbox Series X, they've already said that you're going to be able to have multiple games booted up and ready to go. So like, okay, let's say you're big into playing online shooters. You're playing some Destiny 2 or Destiny 3, whatever it is, when the Series X comes out. Or Halo Infinite. We'll even use that because that's a confirmed game. You're playing some Halo Infinite. And then all of a sudden your buddy's like, hey, I got to go eat dinner real quick. I'll be back in 30 minutes. And you're like, you know what? Cool. I'm going to go jump in to play the new Assassin's Creed game. And you can just boot it right up. It's going to be right where you were. You're going to be able to play it. And then your buddy comes back 30 minutes later. You jump right back into Halo Infinite, right where you were. You can log into a match. You don't have to reboot the game or anything.
You don't have to close a software to open another software.
Exactly.
It's just, they could be basically running simultaneously.
Yes, which is what computers do now. But I mean, even with certain PCs,
your phone can do that. Like your phone can do that. Like, why doesn't my $500 Xbox One X do that?
Yeah, and it does that with, like, you can have Voodoo running and a game, and it's fine. Like other applications, it works, but it won't allow two games to be running at the same time. And that's because it doesn't have enough RAM. So this is an exciting addition. So here's what's exciting about the SSD being able to be used as virtual RAM. Excuse me. It doesn't mean that it's going to be able to allow for like all the multitasking necessarily. It means that developers, if they want to, can choose to use the SSD for more processing power. That's the way I understand this anyway. It just means that developers that want to can make better use of the SSD for their games to run faster, smoother, more efficiently, things of that nature. How they do that, I don't know. But I personally find this idea very exciting. It opens the door for a lot more to be done in games. Hey, man!
Hey!
What's up, guys?
Did you have to go rub one out real quick?
No, dude, I couldn't get StreamYard wouldn't launch on my on Chrome for me. It keeps telling me something else is using my camera, so I had to download Firefox.
Weird.
Yeah, so you were on for like half a second and then we're gone.
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah. Well, welcome. Hello.
Thank you.
Hey, buddy. Hello. Just in time. Hey, how into computers are you? Do you understand the concept of virtual RAM?
Yeah.
Okay. So Max was kind of explaining a little bit about being able to use the solid state drive in the Xbox as more computing power.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Max? Is that kind of how I'm paraphrasing?
Yeah. No, you're good. I was just talking about how Phil Spencer, there was a quote from him saying that the Xbox Series X's SSD can be used as virtual RAM by developers. And I think that's really exciting. It opens up the door for a lot more opportunities for developers to have their games run smoother, faster, more efficiently. And who knows what else they can do with that. You know, I'm not a developer, but I think that's really cool. That's an exciting new feature.
It is.
So are you a PlayStation gamer or an Xbox gamer, Matt?
PC.
Is that solely what you run? You don't run any?
No, I have games? All of them. I have Xbox, PC, PS4. I mainly go between Xbox and PC. I haven't touched my PS4 in months.
Yeah, my PS4 gets very little play.
My PS4 is used for exclusives, and luckily there's a lot of PS4 exclusives, so I still use it. But exclusives and Destiny too. But
see what we need to do is you both have Xboxes, right?
Yeah.
Do you have Game Pass?
Oh yeah.
You need to download Grand Theft Auto 5, and we need to go online and run those streets.
Dude, I have not played GTA 5, but I am down because I haven't wanted to pay $40 for it. It's like never on sale, really. And it's too old of a game for me to want to buy. I'm very excited.
That's a game that doesn't get old, though. Like, that's what's cool about GTA. Like, GTA 5 came out, 4 years ago?
No, 2013. It came out on the 360.
Oh, shoot.
It came out on the 360.
Oh, and they reissued it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, it might have
I've never seen it less than $40.
Yeah, it's all consistently It was 2013. It's consistently on the top selling games list. It's like, who doesn't own this game? Technically me, but like, man alive, every month more and more people
I'm
buy
going
it.
to look it up right now.
That was on Game Pass. Like I had it on PS4 and was playing it, and then it came to Game Pass. I just downloaded it on Xbox, and I've been.
Well, if you wanted to buy it right now, it's only $16.
Oh wow. Well, I'm just gonna play it on Game Pass, but I think that's really cool. I'm glad it's on there. I'll probably jump in and play it a little bit. You might not have been listening when I was talking about it, Matt, but I actually picked up Death Stranding yesterday, and surprisingly, I'm really enjoying it. So
yeah, Amazon Prime the game. That's cool.
It's true. It's weird that I liked it. I don't know why it's been tugging at me for a
Amazon
while.
Prime the game. I don't.
He's
understand
not.
that.
You're a delivery man. That's
you're
the
delivering
game.
packages.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. The game is literally a guy who delivers packages from place to place. I don't know why it's so much fun, but I'm loving it. I don't know why. Mostly,
But you're like killing
stuff
stuff along the way, right?
No, there's no combat so far. I haven't fought anything.
Yeah, that's
You do eventually, but the way it's been explained to me is if you like lore games, if you're into like a lot of lore in games, you'll love Death Stranding. But if you're in it for the gameplay and action, it's not a game for you.
Yeah, I'm in it for the story and the world, and that's why I'm enjoying it. The
what
story
would
is
be
cool.
considered lore games?
Like if you're really into the story of a game, like if you get into the lore, aka the story of a game, like Destiny 2.
I understand. I thought that was like a genre that you were.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Like if you play games and you get into the story and the story drives you to play because you want to know what happens next, yeah, that's a game for you. But if you're into more gameplay and action and in your games, it's not a game for you.
So that's why I really like Last of Us and hated Dying Light, because I thought Last of Us had a better story.
Yeah, I'm very driven by stories in games. And that's why I think I'm liking it. I'm not.
It's the only reason I play these new gen games is because it feels like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I could just watch somebody play it from start to finish and watch it like a movie, I'd be content.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, dude. You can do that. You can go on YouTube and watch people play video games.
I was just kidding. I do like playing them.
I like playing them for the story. So I'm surprisingly really enjoying it. I totally get why people don't like the gameplay because it's not the most exciting. Like I said, I haven't fought anything. You go around delivering packages. There's more to it than that, but that is the essential
That's
gameplay.
the gist of it.
Yeah, the gameplay. That's the gist. It's the story that is intriguing and the world and the lore behind it. So yes, Matt is exactly right. If you're into lore, you're into story, Death Stranding might be for you. If you want to have fun in an open world game, play Assassin's Creed Odyssey or Grand Theft Auto 5 or Red Dead 2. Play pretty much anything else because this is not the game for the most exciting gameplay in the world.
Well, see, and I liked Red Dead Redemption because of the story in it.
Yeah. Red Dead 2 has an amazing story. God of War has an amazing story. Well, God of War is not really an open world. It's kind of like open-ish. But Assassin's Creed Odyssey has a cool story. There's a lot of open world games that have both. Death Stranding, to me, doesn't have both. But I'm still enjoying it. I'm just finding it refreshing because it's a game where, I don't know, it's not stressful. I'm going around, walking up mountains. I enjoy hiking and backpacking. So it's like reminding me of something that I'm too fat to do anymore. I mean, I'm not too fat. I can go do it, but I just don't. And so it's like, it's kind of fun.
Too effing lazy.
Yeah, that's better. I freaking live in Colorado.
Hey, look, he's going to be a dad. He's got to work on that dad bod, all right?
Exactly.
He's got to get that dad bod in prime shape for when the baby comes.
My goal is actually to lose like 30 more pounds before the baby, but we'll see. We'll see if that happens.
Not with a pregnant wife, you're not.
So far, I have not put on any sympathy weight. I've actually lost 5 pounds. So far, I'm doing all right.
Have the cravings started yet, though?
I've had cravings since I was 20 years old.
Not you.
20? Come on. What he means to say is he had cravings since he was 2.
You haven't had the midnight wake up of I want peanut butter and pickles yet, or
So she definitely has cravings, and I did actually have the midnight thing yesterday.
But, there you go.
But she didn't do anything about it. I came to bed at midnight, literally at midnight, and she's like, I'm hungry. I'm like, well, do you want me to get you something? Because I'm going to fall asleep within like a minute if you don't give me an order right now. Because I'm in the bed and I'm out. And she's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, I can go grab you the popcorn because I brought some home after I saw Uncut Gems last night. She's like, no, it's okay. It's all right. So then within about a minute, I was snoring and she fell asleep. But yeah, her cravings aren't bad. It's more just like she likes fruit. She's always liked fruit, but she's like way more into fruit. And she's usually really into sweets and she's more into like salty stuff. I don't know. It's weird.
You just postmate it like Melissa Benoist, who paid $20 for a banana.
What?
Did you guys not see that?
No.
Melissa Benoist, who plays Supergirl on the CW, was on James Corden, the Late Show with James Corden, I think it's called. And they did a thing where it was her, Evan Rachel Wood, and Mike Birbiglia, the comedian. I don't know how to say his last name. They took their phones, and James Corden was supposed to figure out whose phone was whose. And they pulled up a Postmates order for one banana that was 70 cents. And with all the fees and stuff, it came out to like $20. One banana. Because she was too lazy to go to the store. Oh, no, it wasn't Melissa Benoist. It was Evan Rachel Wood.
Either way,
well, now which one was money. Your story's all over the place. I don't know if I believe it.
I'm trying to remember.
Was it even a banana?
I think we need to fact check this.
I bet this was a T-bone steak. It wasn't even a banana.
No, it was a banana. It was. No, I'm remembering now because he thought it was Melissa Benoist's phone, and it turned out Evan Rachel Wood was the owner of the phone. But Melissa Benoist told a very believable story of why it was her phone. So basically, they have to convince James Corden whose phone it's their phone.
Okay. And
Evan Rachel Wood's story did not make any sense, so he picked Melissa Benoist, but it was actually Evan Rachel Wood.
Okay. Kyle says your story is like Swiss cheese. Full of holes.
Kyle smiles like Swiss cheese, all the teeth.
Oh, man.
Why are you smelling Kyle? I want to know why you're smelling Kyle.
I didn't say smelling.
Oh, I thought you said he smells like Swiss cheese. Oh, okay.
Smile.
I was going to say, why are you smelling Kyle?
Well, they hang out together all the time watching Judge Judy and getting their jollies off on it.
For all the things that we like, we never hang out. I can't tell you.
They're the same guy. Well, because no one can tell you apart if you're together. You both like Supernatural. You both like music. You both were in bands. You both drive VWs. You're the same guy.
I didn't know he was in a band.
Yeah.
Shows you how much.
Back in the day, not anymore, but back in the day.
Yeah.
And don't you guys live like an hour and a half apart?
We live far.
Yeah.
He lives out in Glendale or something like that.
Yeah, make the drive. It's not that far.
If you can make the drive for the Cardinals, you can make the drive for Kyle.
Dude, I haven't been to a Cardinals game in 2 years, so I'm not making that drive.
Bro.
I've been watching on TV. I have a 4K HDR TV. It looks better on my TV.
Oh, that's true.
And I don't have to sit next to a bunch of drunkards.
What he means to say is that he's got more room at home, and he's not smashed in between a bunch of people at the stadium.
The experience, though, that's what's fun about it.
And at home, he can just go, "Hun, can you bring me a hot dog?" And there he actually has to get up and fight through people to go stand in line at concessions.
Oh, believe me, if he asks his wife for a hot dog, it's gonna be a real big fight. More effort than being at the stadium.
He did bring me Mountain Dew a little bit ago.
Wow. I need to text my wife, hey, can you bring me some water? So
pee every 5 seconds.
It would be fantastic if she just sent you back a video of her filling up a cup and then just dumping it out.
So what have you guys been watching lately?
I just finished Insatiable. Have you guys
heard that Netflix show?
Yeah, about the beauty queens and one that used to be fat and goes on a killing spree. I watch it mainly because she's hot. Let's just put it honestly.
Who is that again? I thought it's someone famous.
No, not Debbie Ryan. That's not right, is it?
Insatiable.
I think it is Debbie Ryan.
Oh, what is Carrie Fisher's mom's name?
Oh, so that's season 2.
What? Carrie Fisher's mom's name?
Yeah, isn't it like Debbie Ryan?
No, Debbie Reynolds, I think.
Debbie Reynolds.
Debbie Ryan is the chick from Disney Channel. She was on Disney Channel.
It is Debbie Ryan. I'm looking it up right now. It is her. It's Debbie Ryan.
Yeah. Debbie Reynolds is Carrie Fisher's mom. Debbie Ryan is the chick on Insatiable and Sweet Life.
Yeah. So that's been pretty good, though? You like it?
It's funny. It's just there's not a whole lot to watch right now. I'm not a fantasy fan, so I don't really have any interest in watching The Witcher. And all the shows are on hiatus. So we watched Stumptown. We finished all the episodes of Stumptown. That was pretty good. But I watched that one mainly because I like the dude from New Girl. Josh. I don't remember his name. You know which guy I'm talking about? He was in SpiderMan.
Oh, I love him. He plays Nick on New Girl. Yeah, I'm not sure what his name is, but yeah, he's awesome.
I can tell you in 2 seconds.
It's been 2 seconds and you still haven't told me.
Hey, since you guys are on a show that likes to spoil everything, while Lance is looking that up, have you guys looked into the leaked Spider-Man 3 script yet?
No.
What?
I don't want to know about it.
But is it like legit?
Oh, it's legit.
What is his name? Spider-Man 3 script, huh?
Yep.
I don't want to know, except for who the villain is. That I'm willing to know. But other
Craven
than that,
Hunter.
awesome. That's cool. That'll be great.
It is Craven?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Is he the only one, or are they gonna put a bunch of them in there?
I mean, there's some other ones that if I say are going to be spoilerific. So,
Well, then I'll wait.
but I mean, from what I've read of it, it holds water. So we'll see if they change it or if it's accurate. But
Well, things always change. Even if there's a script, the director changes stuff during filming, and
because last week when we were talking, we were like, we haven't heard anything about pre-production. We haven't heard anything about nothing. And then all of a sudden, like within the last week, it's like a script leak. They're going in pre-production this summer. It's going to start filming this summer. So it's like within the week, all of this news started dropping. So,
well, that's cool. I'm excited for it. I think it'll be great. You're looking it up right now?
No, I'm reading it right now.
The script? That's going to take you a while.
Made bullet points.
Oh, okay. All right.
I just knew you guys like spoiling everything. So, you know.
We like spoiling things that are out.
I tried to talk about it last night, and Kyle told me to take my crap to Couch Crunchers. So I figured I'd bring it here.
I don't like spoilers unless I've seen it. Then it's not a spoiler because I already know. I almost left a group earlier this week over it because there's the Final Fantasy VII remake's coming out, and the demo got leaked. And that's fine, whatever. I'll watch the demo. It's just the opening mission. But the people that got the demo were able to data mine it and find all sorts of spoilers for the game. And even though it's a game from 20 years ago, there's going to be new stuff, and I don't want to know about it. And I almost left a group over it until they banned all spoilers and removed all the old posts. I don't want to know. I want to see it myself. That's why we give spoiler warnings, Matt.
Okay. The last thing I read is going to piss me off.
Which part?
I don't want to know. You guys can talk about it off air.
Dude, this could all be a grain of salt, is what it says at the very top.
Yeah, that's fair.
From 4chan. So it could be completely false. So I'm just
It holds water though. If you're looking at the same one I've read, we'll talk about it out off air. So next to
right.
piss me off.
Go ahead and say it.
Piss me off is that Peter at the end visits Doctor Strange at the Sanctum.
Yep.
Offers to make the world forget he's Spider-Man. Peter ponders the question. Roll credits.
Yeah, that's one more day. It's one more day. They do it in comic
I don't
book.
like that.
Why don't you like that?
Well, because my whole issue with Civil War, in the Civil War comic book, he exposes himself, right? On the news. So I thought this was like the last movie was kind of a way to like make everything aligned again, and for everybody just to forget he's Spider-Man again just kind of seems kind of lame.
Well, that's what they do in the comic book. That's the whole premise of the one more day storyline.
Well,
Aunt May's in trouble, so he makes a deal with Mephisto to not be with Mary Jane anymore, to get the entire world to forget he was ever Spider-Man, because people are just coming after his family left and right.
Yeah, but I was kind of hoping that it was going to be and I don't remember the comic book that I read, but there was something with their Daredevil and Matt Murdock in Spider-Man and Peter Parker, where Matt Murdock is defending Peter Parker.
Yeah, it's the trial of Peter Parker.
That's what I was hoping was going to happen. If they were going to make everybody not believe that Spider-Man's not Peter Parker.
No.
Where Matt Murdock dresses up as Spider-Man.
Yeah, I never would have expected that. They're not going to bring Matt Murdock in soon enough to do that. So I like this. I have nothing wrong with that. If that's what happens, cool.
But then it just rolls credits.
Cliffhangers, baby.
He's pondering the question and it rolls credits.
Yeah, that sounds like an after credit scene, is what that sounds like to me. The movie's going to end, and then it's going to be like a mid-credit scene.
So it's saying not the post-credit scene. It just says at the end. At the end, not the post-credit scene. Peter visits Doctor Strange. But it does make mention of Norman Osborn, which would be cool. I hope it's Matthew McConaughey.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm going to take it with a grain of salt. Who knows? Might be a fake script. It might be a decoy script.
Totally fake. I don't know.
I know they've done that in the past where they've released multiple.
See,
scripts.
the article I read, it said it came from the guy who released it comes from the same source that released the Infinity War script, not Infinity War Endgame script, who was 90% accurate with his leaks. So they're taking it with a little bit of credibility because of who the source of the leak is. So,
all right. Well, that's cool. That's cool. All right. Well, what have you been up to there, Matt?
Not a whole lot. Just podcasting and playing video games. I haven't really watched much other than football because everything's on hiatus.
On your thing right now because your whole background is like flashing.
Yeah, it's the Patriots playing right in front of me. But I haven't really been watching much. Mandalorian's over, so I've been keeping Disney Plus just kind of for old stuff, watching Simpsons and stuff like that, waiting for next week when all the Crisis stuff kicks back up. So,
oh, that's right. That's next week.
Oh, that's what I should be watching. I should watch all the Crisis crap that I missed.
Yeah, you should, man. It's on my Vudu.
Dude, because I'm struggling to find things to watch.
Watch it. Also, don't be a pansy. Watch The Witcher.
You bought it on Vudu?
Well, those 3 episodes, yeah.
Oh, I was just going to go to the CW app, but that's good to know that it's on there.
Yeah, then you don't have to watch all the freaking ads.
There's nothing right now on Netflix I want, so I canceled my Netflix for the time being and all that just because there's nothing out I want to watch on it.
Well, isn't there a bunch of stuff coming out this month?
Probably.
There's nothing I'm like super excited about. I saw yesterday an article of all of Netflix 2020 movies. Like they released the whole list, and there was nothing on there that really interested me.
Wasn't Stranger Things coming out this year?
Not until like the end of the year.
Oh, it's not going to be July again like it was last time?
No, their dates change. So like it was October, and then now it's July. So it's probably going to be later in the year, especially with this being the last season.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's the last season?
Yeah, this is the last season of Stranger Things.
I'm cool with that. I don't know. I mean, there's stuff coming out like Clone Wars season 7. I'm excited about, and I'm sure Titans season 3 is coming out this year, but that's probably not going to be till later in the year. And
I thought about starting to finally watch Clone Wars. Yeah,
I love it, but honestly, you could skip until season 3 and then watch it. The first 2 seasons are kind of boring. They're very kiddie, and then at season 3, it turns into more friendly for teens and adults. But yeah, dude, The Witcher is really good. If you guys haven't watched that, it's a little hard to follow, but I love it, man. I thought it was really good. Some of the choreography is freaking amazing, and Henry Cavill nails that character.
Well, The Ranch final season's coming out at the end of this month.
Yeah.
No one cares about The Witcher. Fine, we'll move on.
No, I've tried to watch The Witcher. I've tried to watch the first episode 4 times, and I've fallen asleep every time. So obviously, it's just not a show for me.
That's fair. It's definitely a slower show.
If I would have taken that stance when it came to Breaking Bad, I would have never watched Breaking Bad. Because the first 5 episodes, I've rewatched the first 5 episodes like 6 times before they finally got past them.
Season 1 of Breaking Bad is rough. You gotta really be dedicated to it. But once season 2 hits and the plane crash happens and Saul Goodman comes in, that's when the show really picks up.
It really finds its footing after like episode 6 or something like that. But like my brother was going on and on about how great Breaking Bad was. So I sit down, watch it, got through the first 5 episodes and was bored. And then a year passed and I was like, okay, let me try this thing again because nobody's shutting up about it. So I watched the first 5 episodes, got bored.
It's when your hate for Skylar and Marie really kick in that the show gets that much better.
I love that show. You know what I haven't seen yet that I need to watch? El Camino.
Oh, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, I keep meaning to rewatch Breaking Bad. That's one of those things that I need to rewatch because it's a real good show. I actually watched all of Breaking Bad while playing Titanfall.
Really?
Yep. Except for I think the last season.
Excuse me. I need to watch Better Call Saul.
Yes, you do. That's good. It's a fantastic show.
That's another one.
That season comes back. That comes back next month.
Yeah, I got about 10 minutes into the first episode and was bored and turned it off. So I should probably give that one another try.
I hear that really picks up at season 2. Like the action's kicked up a notch. So this month, Sabrina season 3 is coming out. The Ranch. There's really not much.
And I love Riverdale, but I didn't care for Sabrina.
I like Sabrina just because it's a little bit darker. Riverdale kind of lost my interest, but I'll probably watch it again.
Well, they're not really connected, right? It's just based on the same comic.
Same universe.
It is the same universe?
Yeah.
And the producer, director, no.
No, the producer is the same for both shows.
What's his name? Roberto?
I don't know his name, but
he's the guy that revamped the comic books and made the comic books kind of relevant again. What's his name? So they have a Halloween Riverdale comic book where Jughead turns into a zombie and stuff like that. That's like really good. I read it for Comic Exposure, and his name's Roberto. I don't remember. Keep talking, I'll figure it out. But
it's all good, dude. I don't know. Let's just talk about the 2 movies that were on our list. That way, Matt and I can really lay into you about your opinion on the second movie we're going to talk about. So go ahead and give us your rundown.
You actually liked Uncut Gems?
Okay.
Well, you spoiled it.
Should I jump into Uncut Gems or should I?
Let's do Grudge. Talk about Grudge real quick, and then we'll talk about Uncut Gems. So
hey, Matt, have you seen Grudge?
No, I'm not going to either.
Me neither. I don't care. Spoil the frick out of it. I don't care.
Jay and I wanted to hang out and go to the movies, and I wanted to see Richard Jewell. He didn't, so we landed ultimately on Uncut Gems and The Grudge. So we watched them back to back. The Grudge is the biggest piece of horror shit I've ever seen in my life. Just, it's horrible. Like, it's not, you're sitting there wondering why they even decided to make a remake of this. Like, it literally takes a step back. It's a movie where they're trying to make you think that Jordan Peele directed it by kind of how they use camera angles and things like that. And the end even ends like a typical Jordan Peele movie where it's just like silent. Like it has a really big moment and then it's just silent, right? And nothing against the actors or anything. It was just a bunch of cheap jumps, and it's trying to be serious, but yet it's giving you cheap scares and things like that, like a typical slasher movie. It's bad. It's really bad. And then the whole movie, they're talking about 3 different timelines, and you think that some way they're going to make these timelines kind of interconnect, but only 2 of them interconnect, really. There's a 3rd timeline. You're like, well, that made no sense. Like, why was that even included in the movie? It's just bad. It's a bad movie. And Jay and I both walked out of there and like, I feel like we just got taken for our money, you know? That's pretty much what I can say. I mean, I can't really get into it. It's going to go down as one of the worst movies of 2020.
Whew. Not even a week in and it's already that bad?
Yeah, it's not a good way to start off the year. Like, it was bad. And I actually kind of enjoyed the first one with Sarah Michelle Gellar. Like, because I thought, well, first of all, I have an unhealthy crush on her. But I thought the kids were like creepy and stuff like that. But this movie just seems like to be a regular, like, demonic ghost movie. Like, it didn't even need to be The Grudge. I'm still trying to figure out why they felt the need to remake this movie.
I think that's weird. It only came out like 10 years ago, the original one? Maybe more than that. But
that's all Hollywood is remakes and reboots.
That's true.
It serves no purpose whatsoever. The only redeeming quality is that John Cho, who's Harold and Kumar, is in it. That's it. Like, nothing else about it. There's a male detective that you really don't understand what his role is in the movie. The woman, like, she goes off to fight these ghosts and stuff like that, and then, like, she has her kid at home, and you're like, who's she leaving her kid with? Like, what's going? Like, it was just bad.
So, yeah, I had no interest in seeing it. I honestly didn't really have much interest in seeing Uncut Gems either. But I was like, all right, we need to talk about a movie tomorrow. Lance is seeing Grudge and Uncut Gems. I'm not seeing The Grudge. So I'm really glad now that I didn't see it because it sounds like it was terrible.
Yeah, I wish that we would have went and saw Richard Jewell.
I want to see that. I kind of wish we would have watched that this week instead. Although the comic book barbarian is saying that Richard Jewell sucked, but Sam absolutely loved it, and it looks like my kind of movie. I like Clint Eastwood stuff.
That's Corbin. Don't listen to what he says.
Oh, it's Corbin? Yeah.
That's Cockosaurus Rex. Don't listen to what he says.
But okay,
I was looking for showings for Richard Jewell tonight, and I can't find any.
Oh, really? I want to watch or talk about Uncut Gems. So let's see. Go ahead, Lance. Tell us why you liked it.
So my thing with Uncut Gems is I see Matt's point and I see your point. So Max and I talked on the phone on my way back.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
After the movie. Matt has said several things about it. But the things you guys have said, I walked in knowing that it was an A24 movie, and what I was expecting is what I got. Now, I did think it was a little too long. I thought there was a lot of lull moments. So am I going to call it one of the best movies of the year? No. But it may be that Matt trashed it so bad that my expectations were low and it exceeded my expectations. Because Matt acted like he just saw, a Sesame Street movie where all the Muppets get murdered or something like that. Like, like it was.
That sounds awesome.
Well, there was a movie like that called The Happy Time Murders, and it was not very good.
Oh, fair enough.
But like, I thought Adam Sandler, he played the character exactly how it was supposed to be played. You're not supposed to like this character. He's constantly putting his family in danger. He's constantly making boneheaded decisions by gambling and continually gambling. And at the end, you don't like him. And I think that's exactly how he's supposed to be. There's no hero in this movie. The only person that you feel bad for is his wife and his kids, essentially, who are barely in the movie to begin with. So there's nobody that it's just a bunch of crappy people doing crappy things, betting on things. And it just shows how gambling can destroy families and how addictive it is. And I think it succeeded in doing that. And I went and saw it with Jay, and Jay liked it. Jay was going to try to come on tonight, actually. But he liked it as well. So, but I do see Matt's point to where there was moments in the movie that didn't need to be there. Were just a little bit too long. He spent too much time chasing that rock around, in my opinion.
Yeah, I hated this movie. I hated it. Okay, let me say a few positives first. You're right. The acting was good. I think Adam Sandler did a great job. I think he was supposed to be hateable, and he was. I hated every moment that I had to see the character's stupid face. I hated him so much, which we're spoiling this movie, so I'm going to go ahead and spoil, because I'm also going to say my favorite part of the movie is when he wins it all, and then he gets shot in the frickin' head. I was so happy. I was like, yes, this douchebag is being killed, and I loved that part. That was great. Sweet
I don't
justice.
see him as a douchebag. I just see him as sick.
Douchebag's maybe the wrong word. He's an idiot. He's an idiot, constantly making bad decisions. It's extremely selfish, boneheaded as all get out. Doesn't listen to anybody. He's awful. The character is awful, and I know he's supposed to be. So they did a good job in making me hate the guy, but I was so happy when he died. That was a positive. That was wonderful. And the acting was really good.
From the chat, can we put him in timeout for 5 minutes?
Why? He's fine.
Don't do that to the
cocksaurs. The only good Adam Sandler movie is Happy Gilmore.
He can have an opinion, even if it's wrong.
The guy likes Gotham by Gaslight, for God's sakes. Just let him have his moment.
It's only because the creator is his buddy.
Yeah,
well,
Billy Madison is a great movie.
Billy Madison's really good. I love you.
Waterboy is a great movie.
Yeah.
Let's give the man some credit for his acting out of his stupid comedy movies. Punch Drunk Love, Spanglish, Funny People. I mean,
but his acting was Uncut Gems. Acting was great.
I love Funny People so much. It's Seth Rogen's best movie, one of his best movies. It's a really good Adam Sandler movie. Like, it's a really good movie. To say that Happy Gilmore, which is probably one of his more dumb movies, is his only good movie is ridiculous.
His Netflix stuff has been bad, but he's got a lot of good
Murder Mystery movie was not bad.
No, and it was one of the most watched things on Netflix.
It was the most watched on Netflix this last year.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
More people watched Murder Mystery than freaking Stranger Things.
Wow. Okay, well, anyway, let's get back to Uncut Gems.
Okay, sorry. I saw his comment and immediately got pissed.
All good. So I liked the acting, and I liked the setting in New York. That was good. There was some good, cinematography. But beyond that, and I liked that the main character died at the end. But beyond that, it was a horrible movie, in my opinion. Everyone was constantly talking over each other. Like, I'm sure we've all been given feedback before. Your podcast, you're talking over to each other too much. You got to stop that. It's not fun to listen to. That was this entire freaking movie.
But that's an A24 movie. That's what The Room is. That's how mid-90s is. It's supposed to be from a standpoint of almost like a candid camera, right? So the camera angles they use and everything like that make it seem like you're watching real life. And that's how real life is. That's A24.
That's not my real life. I let people speak, even when I'm pissed off. I mean, sometimes I'm a jerk too, but but that was one of the things I hated about it. Everyone constantly yelling at each other. Like Kevin Garnett's lackey or whatever you want to call it, his buddy, and Adam Sandler's character Howard, just constantly yelling at each other. No one's listening, just screaming. It was chaos after chaos after chaos, and I was praying for moments of quiet. And when they came, I was so happy and relieved that there was finally a moment of silence, because it was so loud and obnoxious. And like you said earlier, the characters are all hateable. I don't want to watch a movie about characters that are all hateable. Room is an A24 movie, and I love it. Not every character is hateable. In fact, most of the characters are likable. This movie was I hated it so much. What did you think, Matt?
I hated it. To the point when you got to the scene where they go to the Weeknd concert, and I'll pull up my phone in my pocket, which I never do in a movie theater, and I look at the time, and I'm like, good God, I feel like I've been in this movie for 12 hours. And it's only been 2 hours. How much longer is this movie going to go?
Yeah, I got up to go pee once, and I was only about 45 minutes in, and I was like, it's only been 45 minutes? This is an over 2-hour movie.
People are praising Adam Sandler for his acting in this movie. So I went back, and over the last couple of days, I've rewatched Spanglish. I rewatched Punch Drunk Love. I personally think his acting is much better in those two movies than it was in Uncut Gems. I think they gave Adam Sandler a very safe character that he was an Adam Sandler-esque character. He was very safe for Adam Sandler to play. They didn't give this character much edge. When this movie felt like you were having an anxiety attack through most of it.
That's what it felt like. I don't usually get very anxious, but I'm sitting there just like, can you guys shut up and stop yelling at each other for 5 seconds?
When the movie is on, it's on. Like, it's on the edge of your seat. It's anxiety ridden. It felt like you're having an anxiety attack. But there's just so many lull points, and there's so many points in this movie that don't need to be there. The weekend scene didn't need to be there.
Yeah, I thought the weekend scene was too long. I thought his performance was great. I do see how it could be kind of safe, but I think there was other nuances to it that was a little bit different than things that he's played before. Just the intensity factor of it, because Punch Drunk Love, he plays a very like morose, down character. Like his energy is not there. This movie, he was able to use more of his energy.
I mean, it's almost felt like the same role he played in Spanglish to me. Like, I rewatched that the other night. To me, I don't think his portrayal in this movie is Oscar worthy. I don't think this movie is Oscar worthy at all. You get, and I know Corbin in the chat especially is going to disagree with me, but look at what Joaquin did in Joker versus what Adam Sandler did.
You even opened your mouth. Oh, yeah. Joker movie.
Yeah. Well, but look at what Joaquin did in Joker, and look at what Adam Sandler does in this movie, and you tell me which one's more Oscar worthy. Because I don't think it's Adam Sandler.
No, I agree. I agree.
I thought the ending was stupid. I thought the fact that they killed him at the end was stupid. I know you like that part, Max, and that's fantastic. But I thought it was a dumb and it was a dumb ending.
So did you want him to win?
I didn't mind him winning, but look at the end of the movie, by him dying and them killing his brother-in-law too, and then they robbing him. Who was the ultimate winner? The ultimate winner was the chick he was cheating on his wife with, because she's walking away with all that money. His wife isn't getting any of that. His kids aren't getting any of that. She's walking away with all that money.
Yeah.
So ultimately, the winner in this movie is the chick he's cheating on his wife with,
who was so hot.
Yeah, she was very hot.
Yeah, she's definitely attractive.
That's one thing, is that there was a couple of girls sitting behind me in the theater, and when an actress comes on screen and a group of girls go, "Man, she is thick as fuck." Yeah, that's a good sign that the chick's pretty hot. So.
That the lingerie scene where he's peeping at her through the closet, that was like one of the hottest things I've ever seen. I don't know, man.
Oh, Lance.
But it felt like the little lackey, I can't think of his name. He was in he was in Get Out. He was in the call center movie. I can't think of his name right now, but he's in a lot of A24 stuff. His little lackey, with Kevin Garnett's lackey, he really had no point other than just to be a plot setter. He's the one that set the plot, and he's the one that progressed the plot. That's pretty much it.
He was annoying as all get out.
He was.
He's like, "Hey, come, I've got your gem." And then Adam Sandler shows up. "Oh yeah, KG's got your gem. Why did you agree to meet me here just to tell me that you don't have the gem?" It was so dumb.
And that's my problem with the Safdie brothers movies, is they did the Robert Pattinson movie Good Time, and their choice of ambiance and the way they light their movies is really weird. And I don't like the oversaturation of neon colors. You go to that club scene with the Weekend, and everyone's in these like neutral colors, and then you got that dude in a bright ass orange highlighter hoodie, and he's the only one that stands out in that scene.
That I didn't mind. I found that kind of cool. That was cool imagery, but I didn't like the music. Like, they used like this real like techno 80s style music. I'm like, this is set in 2012. How does this music fit this movie? Like, it was distracting to me. I didn't like that.
See, I felt like the frame rate that they used and the way they filmed it and the music, the movie was set in like 2012, but it made it feel like a 90s movie. And I kind of like that because it made it seem older.
Why is that a good thing?
I don't know. I just thought, I'm just looking at as far as from the artist standpoint of making it look that way. It just didn't look like other movies that would be about the same thing. And I like that. I don't like seeing the same thing over and over again.
Okay.
And I felt like this was just a good movie that showed kind of the consequences that addiction has on families, on like how addiction can just completely destroy you from the inside out. And we see that from Adam Sandler from the get-go. Like the dude is sitting there with $165,000 worth of cash that he needs to pay these guys or else he's going to be killed. His brother-in-law, no less. And with Kevin Garnett sitting there, bets on a basketball game with Kevin Garnett sitting right there. You know, which could get Kevin Garnett ejected from the NBA instantly if he was a party to that, right? But sitting right there, he bets on this basketball game, regardless of what it'll do to his children, what it'll do to.
Well, that you're talking about the end of the movie, though, when he does that.
Yeah,
well, that's just one instant.
His brother is the actual villain of the movie because if you think about it, he wins in the movie. He wins in the very beginning of the movie, and his brother-in-law is the one that canceled the bet. So his brother-in-law is really the villain of this entire movie, and his brother-in-law is the reason all of this happened.
Well, that's the part that confused me because it paints his brother to be the boss of this whole little gambling cartel thing, but then it seems like his lackey shoots him in the face.
Well, that seems like that's what happens.
That's exactly what happens. Yeah.
No, that was weird.
Was he not the boss? Like, why would the lackey shoot his boss in the face? Like, it just didn't make a whole lot of sense why he was killed.
That's one of the reasons I'm like, this movie is whatever.
I don't think it was a perfect movie. Did I walk away feeling like I got ripped off? No.
I felt like that was just a reason to tie up loose ends. Is ultimately what it was.
Well, I thought it was weird that I was glad they killed him, but at the same time, I was like, are you guys stupid? You just saw that he won $1 million. And yeah, he's got a lot of jewels in there, but why didn't you freaking let him live and take his money?
Well, the better way to end, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Lance. The better way to end this movie would have been saving where they throw him in the trunk for the end. He wins. You see him throw him in the trunk. The trunk closes. The shot fades to black. You don't know what happens. Then you write your own ending.
Money and shoved him in a trunk. And
okay, the trunk scene was another one. He's completely naked, but they let him keep his phone. I thought that was weird.
Yeah, where was he keeping it? His prison wallet?
Right? That's what I was wondering. It's like maybe he had it in his hand the whole time, but I thought that was weird. Like he's completely naked, but he has a cell phone. I will agree with you, Lance, that one part of it I did like was that it did display, like it definitely illustrated addiction and like gambling addiction, especially how harmful that is. And it did that well. Yes. And maybe if that's the entire point of the movie, they succeeded because it definitely made me not want to get into gambling. But all in all, I hated watching this movie. I usually am not like in pain watching a movie, but Uncut Gems, I was like in pain.
I was that way for It Chapter 2.
Really?
It Chapter 2, I could not wait for it to end. I was pissed. That whole movie, I was pissed. It was a bad movie.
Yeah, I don't agree on that, but fair enough.
3.5 hours.
Well, it was 3. Anyway, it was long.
Well, with trailers and everything, I was in that theater for over 3 hours.
Yeah.
What I felt like with Uncut Gems.
Well, Uncut Gems, there was 40 minutes of trailers.
Yeah, there was a lot of trailers for mine too.
I'm sitting there with Jay. Our movie started at 7:10. The movie time. The movie didn't start till 7:50.
Yeah, like
trailers are way overboard. It is way overboard.
Yes, Kyle. Uncut Gems is an ungodly slow burn.
But there's no payoff.
Right.
You're just sitting there the whole time just like, is anyone going to do something good? Is something going to be enjoyable?
Yeah, you're waiting for him to do something that redeems himself the entire movie, and he doesn't.
In fact...
And then he gets shot in the face.
We've been talking about this for 20 minutes, and that's 20 minutes too long. I'm so tired. I hated this movie. And I usually do not...
I like the fact that there was no happy ending. I like the fact that it ended how a lot of these cases would end.
Yes, I agree. But
it seemed more real.
I feel like I said, I feel like there's a better way to end this movie. I feel Kevin Garnett did good in the movie. His ability was good. I liked Adam Sandler in the movie. I don't think he's Oscar worthy in it because I think there's better stuff he's done that shows his dramatic side way better than this. And I mean, it shows addiction well, but it was a slow. There's so much in this movie that didn't need to be there that they could have cut out and made it an hour and 20-minute movie, and it would have been much. If it was as fast paced, if it was fast paced and kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time, then maybe I would be like, all right, that was a fantastic movie. Give this dude an Oscar. But the fact that it opens up on a colonoscopy and it literally feels like you're getting a colonoscopy the entire time you're watching the movie, I'm down. I'll pass. Hard pass.
Well, and that was almost like the colonoscopy thing was kind of weird too. Like they brought it up in the beginning and then it doesn't really get brought up again until at the very end. And that whole scene was freaking annoying too. The doctor's trying to talk to him and he's getting yelled at by another guy. And it's like, gosh, dang, man.
I think what that does, the colonoscopy thing and how there's like kind of that cancer scare, it gives you a feeling that maybe there's something that'll make him want to quit, and not even that makes him want to quit. You know what I mean? Like it keeps dropping these little carrots in to be like, oh, maybe that's what's going to be the thing that sets him straight. Right.
Here's the thing. We don't even know why he's doing this. There's nothing that suggests why he's doing this.
He's addicted.
But what, why, to what, how, why?
Gambling. He's addicted to gambling. That's the whole thing. He's addicted to gambling. He's been doing it for some time. He is addicted to gambling, and it's a disease.
Well, I don't know, because you already see the movie started off to him owing his brother money. So what is there to gamble for? You've seen his house, you've seen everything. It just is like there's no drive for this character to do this,
except
for
the sheer addiction of it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Lance. It's the sheer addiction of it. You can see at the end how, well, not just at the end, the 2 times where he's watching a game that he gambled on, how like enthralled he is with that situation. He cannot go away from the TV. He has to watch. He has to see how it's going. He's so like engaged in that. And like they did that well. You know, there's a couple things they did well in this movie, but yeah, I still did not enjoy it.
Travis from Comic Exposure wants to know if you could recast Adam Sandler's role, that someone would do it better. Who would you cast?
I don't think Adam Sandler was the problem. I don't think that was the problem at all.
That job. I
think he did a good job.
They asked him to do. He's not. No, I think he was fitly cast. I mean, as far as somebody addicted to gambling, maybe if they wanted to do somebody older, like Robert De Niro or something like that, that might work. But I mean, he had young teenage kids, 8-year-old kids, so that maybe wouldn't work.
I wouldn't recast. I think Adam Sandler did a great job.
Yeah,
that's not the issue with the movie.
Oscar worthy, though, is the question where I say no.
No, because I'm looking at predictions for the Oscars, and they give 5 names here, and I've only seen 2 of these movies. I've heard about two other ones. So Adam Driver, Marriage Story, Taron Egerton and Rocket Man, Joaquin Phoenix, Jonathan Pryce and the Two Popes, and Antonio Banderas in Pain and Glory. Now, I love Taron Egerton and Rocket Man, and I think it's far superior as far as acting goes compared to Adam Sandler's.
And Adam Driver's performance in Marriage Story is far better than Adam Sandler's here.
I agree, and they're saying that Pain and Glory is Antonio Banderas' best role ever.
Nice.
So
that's not saying a lot. I mean,
he was Zorro. Come on.
But I mean, Evita was probably his most like noteworthy role, but before that, as far as not a comedy or something stupid, and he was barely in that movie.
But getting back to Uncut Gems, usually movies like this, I'm like, all right, I'll see it again and try to give it a second run through, and I'd rather sit at the dentist for 4.5 hours than we'll watch this movie again.
I don't know if it's a movie I'll ever have to see again. Like,
I'd rather get a colonoscopy than watch this movie again.
I loved Mid-90s, which is another A24 movie. Loved Mid-90s. Have no desire to see it ever again. The Room, which I think is...
You mean Room?
The best movies I've ever... Or Room. Yes, sorry. The Room is a completely different movie. The Room which I think is one of the best movies I've ever seen, is not a movie that I think I'd watch again. And I own it. I have it in Blu-ray, and I think it's still sitting in the plastic.
It's in your Voodoo. That's how I watched it.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'd rather listen to Corbin give a 4-hour symposium on why Gotham by Gaslight is the greatest comic ever than watch this movie again. And that's saying something.
So and even for best screenplay, Uncut Gems is not on here. It's Booksmart, Knives Out, Marriage Story, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Us, which I don't understand Knives Out, man. I tried watching it and got bored about 20 minutes in.
I haven't seen it yet.
What did you get up and leave the theater then?
No, I haven't.
Arrgh, that's what.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, even swimming in the bay, huh?
Which is how I saw Code 8, The Mule, and Knives Out. I'll probably watch it. I might not have been in the mood because I hear it's fantastic, but
that's what I really want to see. But my wife wants to watch it together, so I'm waiting.
It's pretty dry. It reminds me, from the little bit that I saw, it reminds me of not Wes Craven. Who's the other guy that does the Royal Tenenbaums and stuff?
Oh,
Wes Craven's the horror guy. Who's the other guy?
God, I can't think of his name right now. He did
Anderson.
Wes Anderson, yes.
Yes, it reminds me, from the little bit I saw, it reminds me of a Wes Anderson movie. Like Marigold Hotel or whatever that thing's called.
Hotel Budapest, Grand Budapest.
Something like that.
And he did something Kingdom.
Box.
He did something Kingdom with Moonrise Kingdom or something like that with about the Boy Scout troop.
Oh yeah, I did see that one. I don't remember what it was called. Moonrise Kingdom. Yep.
Moonrise Kingdom's another one of those that I got about 10 minutes in and I said, nope, not interested. This is
Wes Anderson is they're dry movies and you have to be in a very specific mood.
Yeah. Very
specific. But it reminds me of that kind of. But let me give you this list of best screenplay and let me see what you guys think. Booksmart, Knives Out, Marriage Story, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, or Us.
Of all of those, Marriage
Story, yeah. Booksmart, I think Booksmart doesn't deserve it because it's just a rehash of the Jonah Hill movie. Superbad. It's a female Superbad.
Is it funny?
I mean, it's on I want to say it's on Hulu right now. You can watch it on Hulu. It's funny, but it's a female Superbad.
Let me see. Best Picture.
Damn near got the same plot as Superbad.
Best Picture 2020 Oscar predictions. This is everything they have listed. 1917, which shouldn't count because it's not even released yet. So that should be next year.
It was release limited. That's a weird one.
That's stupid.
That's what we're going to talk about next week.
Avengers Endgame, I don't know why. I love that movie, but I don't know why people are pushing for Oscar. It wasn't that great.
For Best Picture? Yeah, no, I agree.
Bombshell, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. And then Best Director is Little Women, Parasite, 1917, The Irishman, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I think you're gonna see it. I think 3 movies: Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Joker, and Parasite stand out for me. Parasite's in the top of everyone's best of 2019 list, along with Joker. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is making some lists, but it's not as high as those 2 movies. Everyone that I've talked to has raved about Parasite. And
what is that one?
Sam was talking about it last week. He was talking about Parasite.
Yeah, he was.
Oh,
it's the Korean movie that's in Korean where the family, they infiltrate a rich family and they slowly try to take over. So
Yeah, I haven't seen all of the movies on these top lists, so it's hard to say, but Marriage Story would be my pick of those on the list.
I thought there was a thing about these Netflix movies. Isn't Marriage Story a Netflix movie?
It is.
Yeah, and The Irishman. So I haven't seen The Irishman, but I've heard it's great.
I hated The Irishman.
I thought the whole thing with these Best Pictures where they had to do some like theater time. I thought that was the whole reason that Casey Affleck won. Which one? What was that called that he won Best Actor for, Matt?
Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah, it was in theaters first, and then it went to Prime. But Amazon produced it.
Right, and it only went to Prime because Amazon produced it.
Amazon does a lot of that. I thought
that was the reason it went to theaters, so it could get what was it? It could get award.
Irishman did go to theaters. I don't know if Marriage Story did. It was limited release, but it was in theaters.
So that must be the way around it. They must be putting in a limited release for a short amount of time.
I have the same problem with The Irishman that I have with Uncut Gems. It's just that it's so long and boring.
And I love those gangster movies, man. Irishman seems like another one that I'll just love.
And I felt like De Niro's portrayal wasn't even that great.
The Irishman needed more superheroes in it, is what the Grizzled Geek says. I want to watch The Irishman. I just haven't sat down. It's like 3.5 hours.
De Niro's not one of the people they're picking for Best Actor.
I don't know.
Joe Pesci, and Al Pacino.
Yeah,
which Joe Pesci is my cousin.
So. Joe Pesci's your cousin.
He never lets anyone forget it.
That it's true.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're related.
He's like the coolest Italian gangster movie star of all time, and he's my cousin, like second cousin or something, but he's still my cousin.
Yeah. So Martin Scorsese, though, I like a lot of his stuff, so that's why The Irishman excites me. Because Silence, for instance, is one of the best movies I've probably ever seen. That
Departed is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Departed is very good. Shutter Island, fantastic.
Oh, Shutter Island's great.
He's done a lot of good ones, so I'm interested in watching The Irishman, especially since it's there. It's on my Netflix account, so why not?
I need to watch that Ryan Reynolds Netflix one.
Oh, I heard it was
Marriage
bad.
Story.
You do need to watch Marriage Story. Watch that first.
That's one that I would watch with my wife, right?
If you want to.
I mean, yeah.
But like, is it like a movie that she'd be into or no? Max,
it's a movie about divorce. I mean, is your wife in a divorce?
Is it going to give her any ideas?
I honestly think it'll show you both what kind of BS you're going to go through with kids if you decided to get divorced. Like, it's as a person who's been through divorce, it is a very accurate portrayal of what it feels like to go through divorce. So
Matt's racist. He hates Irishmen.
Yes.
Dude, I don't understand. They're called The Irishmen, but they cast a bunch of Italian actors.
I don't know.
Irish or Italian?
I don't think that. I don't know. I don't know Joe Pesci. You do. I don't know Robert De Niro personally. I don't know.
They almost made it a point to only
Let me go 23andMe. Let me jump on Ancestry and trace the Ancestry DNA real quick.
No, they're all. I can guarantee you, they're all Italian. But are they supposed to be an Irish gang?
I have no idea.
Oh, it's about Jimmy Hoffa.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
I don't know, but let's give our ratings for Uncut Gems. Let's hear it. So, should we start with our special unexpected guest, Matt? Let's start with our special unexpected guest.
I just came here to save your show.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah, pretty much. Merry New Year. Happy Christmas. That's all I gotta say. Yeah. Well, oh geez. I mean, taking everything into account, I'm gonna go 3.5
for Uncut Gems.
Yeah,
that makes it seem like you liked it.
That's way more generous than I expected.
I'm giving it. I'm giving it to that because Adam Sandler's portrayal was good. Kevin Garnett's portrayal was good. When you're on the edge of your seat and it's anxiety ridden, you're on the edge of your seat, but there's just too much lull. I mean, okay, I'll go 2.5. 2.5.
So you took away a whole cushion.
Yep.
You convinced him.
Kyle says it's a 9.8 in his book. And how do you deal with him, dude?
Kyle?
He just likes to talk.
Yeah.
You could be talking.
All right, I won't backpedal, Kyle. I'll stay 3.5. Look, there's good parts of this movie. There's bad parts. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it was a great movie. I personally did not like it. And like I said, if I have to sit, if I'm removed from the world that this movie is submerging me in, to look at my phone in a theater, which is something I never do, and go, good God, this movie is. I feel like I've been here for 12 hours. It is
long. It's too long. It's 2.5 hours, I think.
It was 130 minutes. It's like 2 hours and 10.
It didn't need to be that long.
No, it needed to be about 0 minutes long. So what's your rating?
I'm with Matt. I give it a 3.5, which I'm shocked because it seems like I liked it more than he did.
Yeah, the 3.5 does have me surprised. I'm going to go. I was thinking about this before the show. I can't decide if I want to give it as low of a rating as I'm thinking. But I don't want to backpedal, I don't want to have to backpedal. So I'm going to say this. There are a few positives. One, Adam Sandler did a good job. And then he died.
Kyle, that's not a game you want to play.
It's okay if I do, Kyle says okay. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. I was thinking a 1.5, but I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. I can see some redeeming qualities in it, but I hated this. It's a 2 out of 5.
I think overall
it would have been a better film if they actually cut the gems.
It might have been. Those freaking opals were in the rock the whole time.
Let's talk about how Kevin Garnett had this orgasmic experience when he touched this rock too, and I was just
he did a good job, by the way. Kevin Garnett,
he was good at it, yes,
but he actually could act. If he wanted,
I've never touched a rock that made me go back to my ancestral roots.
Well, dude, if you're into if you're an athlete like he is, and you believe in superstitions, there's certain baseball players that only use certain bats, wear certain socks, hockey players that don't wash their underwear for an entire season. They believe in that shit. So if he thinks that rock gave him the ability to win,
yeah,
I don't know. Gosh, this is a boring football game.
It's fitting to talk about a boring football game with a boring movie.
3.5. It's out of 5, right? Not 10.
Yeah, I know. Wait, yeah. Okay, if it's out of 5, then forget that. I'm with Max. I'm going to give it a 1.
Dude, we get awards for the best comment of the night because I think Mike just won it.
Beep.
It's too. Yeah, let's put that on the screen.
Uncut.
It is too hard to believe Adam Sandler in a movie called Uncut.
Oh man,
Tim, he actually did hit some 3-pointers during the film. He did.
Kyle just threw sand and threw fire at you guys right there, talking about a boring football game, about a boring movie, on a boring podcast.
All right, that's the last invitation he ever gets.
Rude. All right, well, let's close it out then.
Tell everybody where they can find you.
I think everybody knows where to find me by this point.
I know.
I might as well just,
it is
like
all
you said,
formality at this
I might
point.
as well just be the fill-in couch cruncher at this point because
I'm just
I
for the facts.
I just came so I didn't get fined. You can find us every Friday night, youtube.com/absolutegeekpodcast.com or every Monday morning wherever you download podcasts or on Twitter at A Geek Podcast.
Nice. Well, we are Couch Crunchers. You can find us on couchcrunchers.com and, of course, on YouTube every Saturday from 7 to 7:30. We will not commit to 7 every time because we suck at that. We were around 7:10, I think, this time. Not too bad. But you can find us every Saturday, and we're trying to get more into writing some more articles for the website. Just got real busy with the end of the year. So if you guys want to check out some of our recent stuff, I did put up a couple this week. One of them was my Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker the Rise of Skywalker review. It's probably in my opinion, one of the best reviews I've ever written. I wrote very in depth. And if you hate the review, that's fine. But I'd love if you guys check it out and let me know what you think. And then I put up another article about the top 5 most influential Avengers in the defeat of Thanos. When I was watching Avengers Endgame a little while back, I just was thinking about, hey, who was the most influential here? And so I put together a little piece about it. So check those out on the website, couchcrunchers.com, and that'll do it for us. Anything else, Lance?
Yeah, we're going to be at WonderCon April 10th. And we are giving away those Funko Pops to our subscribers. So for every 50 subscribers, we'll give away a Funko Pop. And then check us out on the Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, every Saturday on YouTube, and every Monday on your podcast player.
I do have to add real quick, just because Kyle's here. Next Friday, if you listen to the Absolute Geek Podcast, we're giving away a free digital copy of Joker.
Nice.
Oh, awesome.
Kyle gave me a bunch of crap for saying it last night. So
why?
Just because it's like he's like, you're buying a copy of the DVD to give away a digital copy.
Sure.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? We've given away movies before.
Max and I we share our digital libraries, and some stuff before would show up on both. Like if I bought something, it would show up on his profile or whatever. And so we've given away a lot of digital codes.
Yep.
In fact, I'm pretty sure I have a digital Aquaman code that we can give away.
It's a good thing, because then those people don't have to go buy that movie. It's still a free movie for them, because even digital, you have to buy it.
Oh, I'm all about digital. I'm pretty much digital with almost everything anymore. All right, well, that'll do it for us, Couch Crunchers. Switch to digital. Watch The Witcher. Don't be afraid to hate Uncut Gems, because it is legit awful. And with that, have a great night.
See you next Saturday.